Hello, my name is Lael Oldmixon, and I'm the director of the UA Scholars Program. I'm here, along with my colleagues, to acknowledge and recognize this year's class of 2019 for outstanding academic achievement in high school, and to extend an invitation to use the award at any University of Alaska campus. This event was pre-recorded. However, if you have questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat or comment area of the webinar. We will do our best to address all questions at the end of the program. This event will also be shared on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/scholars. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to share a little history about the program. This year, we're celebrating the UA Scholars Program's second decade, 20 years of awarding Alaska's top talent. The UA Scholars Program was born in 1999 when the university leaders observed outmigration trends of academically talented students and their friends. To turn the tide, leaders designated a portion of funds from the Land Grant Trust Endowment to create this scholarship program. This year's class, which currently includes 946 seniors from nearly 175 communities, spanning from Yakutat to St. Paul Island and Barrow to Kodiak, have been awarded a combined total of $11,352,000 for use at any UA campus. This is a powerful demonstration of the university's commitment to you. You are the future of Alaska, and today we are joined by a present UA scholar, Anastasia Erickson, who will share her reasons for using the award. And in the next hour, you'll hear from university representatives Katherine Pascua, Josh Hovis, and Brittany Weisner, along with UA President Jim Johnson, about their reasons for investing in you and why we want you to picture yourself at the University of Alaska. Our first speaker is your fellow scholar, Anastasia Erickson.
Hi everyone, my name is Anastasia Erickson and I'm a sophomore here at UAS. I went to high school up in Anchorage, and by the time I was a senior, I had teetered between at least 5 different careers. I wanted to be a marine biologist, then a psychologist, then an occupational therapist, then a translator, then a museum curator. I had all sorts of interests and absolutely no clue what I wanted to do with my life. Who does? And after my first week of college, I had another change of heart. Along with the stress of moving to Juneau, being away from my family, and learning how to adult, I was miserable in my classes, apart from one, English 211. We were reading amazing works, having in-depth discussions, and writing all about it. My heart has always been fully invested in literature, but I wasn't able to admit that to myself until the end of that first disastrous week. In high school, my teachers and family had always told me that there's nothing out there for English majors. Study something more practical like medicine or law. I was scared, nervous, and totally ashamed. Just a week into my first semester, I was already out of place and about to fail. Little did I know that deciding to study what I actually enjoy would make my college experience way more rewarding and enjoyable. I found that a lot of decisions in college seem to work out like that. You'll think you'll have it all figured out, then an opportunity will present itself, or you'll have a eureka moment and you'll just have to readjust. I never planned on going to school in-state. I worked hard in high school to graduate with a good GPA and SAT score. I signed up for almost every extracurricular I could think of in the hopes of landing some sweet scholarships. Unfortunately, the majority of the schools I applied to could only offer so much. And if you didn't get the memo, tuition is really expensive. Even with the scholarships these schools offered me, I didn't want to start my life drowning in debt. Meanwhile, the University of Alaska offered me amazing financial aid, and UAS specifically offered me the most scholarships out of any university I had applied to. The UA Scholars Award, the Alaska Performance Scholarship, the Chancellor's Award, the Alaska Leadership Initiative, and a couple other scholarships from local businesses. No student loans yet. Even though UAS was not the school I first planned to attend, it quickly became home. From the moment I stepped on campus, I knew that everything was going to be okay. I had made the right choice. It's just like they say, when one door closes, another door opens. Here at UAS, you'll find your professors are your number one supporters. They care about your academic achievements, your personal growth, and your place in the world. You'll get to know the students in your degree program, and you'll collaborate and learn together. You'll be adopted into a giant family that has your back, that will lift you up, and will push you to give 110%. You'll go from movie nights in your best friend's dorm to emergency pep talks in the bathroom before your biology exam. Tears of joy and sometimes disappointment. You'll live off 5 cups of coffee a day, and your idea of fun will be slipping in a 30-minute nap on the 3rd floor of the library between lectures. But don't let any of that scare you. You'll find your friends, and you'll be amazed to find how far you can push yourself to achieve your goals. And believe me, you'll come out on the other end stronger and smarter than ever before. The cliche really is true. Sometimes it's a little rough, but college has been the time of my life. So before I go, here are a few pointers to get you started. Don't ever be afraid to take chances, but try not to take a class before 10 a.m. Study what you want to study, and invest in the most comfortable mattress pad you can afford. Attend campus events, they've all got free food. Say yes to new opportunities, and maybe even say yes to this opportunity. And always, always buy our textbooks used. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Anastasia. At this time, I'd like to introduce President of the University of Alaska System, Dr. Jim Johnson.
Good evening. I'm Jim Johnson, President of the University of Alaska. For you to be listening to me now, a whole lot of people over the years have made some really smart choices. Back in 1998, the president of the University of Alaska, Mark Hamilton, and a few others really thought about how we could create more pathways for the highest performing high school graduates in Alaska, trying to keep them here in Alaska so they study here, they build families here, build careers here, and really build Alaska. And so we came up with the UA Scholars Program, where we award a scholarship to the University of Alaska to the top 10% of Alaska's high school graduates. One of our goals, of course, was retaining our best and brightest. Another was to build leaders and educate leaders for Alaska's future. And another part of the design of the program and intention of the program was to bring in smart young Alaskans from all across the state. That's why it's the top 10% from every high school in the state. So from Ketchikan to Kotzebue, Kodiak, Kenai, Juneau, Bethel, wherever your high school is in the state, the top 10% qualify for this scholarship. So that was a choice made, a deliberate choice that results in this program and you listening to me wherever you are in Alaska. Now, this year you get to make a choice. And it's a really important choice in your life. Where are you going to go to college? I'm going to give you some great reasons to choose the University of Alaska, because I know you're smart enough that you're going to college. So the first reason is quality. We are the number one research university on the Arctic in the world. It's not UW or Harvard or Dartmouth or Berkeley. It's the University of Alaska. And that's important because that means we have top-notch faculty who are teaching you. We have undergraduate research opportunities. It also means that you get to work on things that are real and relevant to Alaska, because our researchers aren't just researching things that don't matter. They're researching things that are happening here in Alaska, in the north right now. They're working on energy solutions, so wondering about where the fish are going. They do research on everything you can imagine, from the middle of the earth to the middle of the sun. So it's pretty exciting. Over 400 different degree programs are available to you here at the University of Alaska. Most of those are face-to-face, but we've got quite a few, dozens now, that are completely online, and they're of top quality. And wherever you take classes across the University of Alaska system, your credits transfer. So if you decide to start at the University of Alaska Southeast, for example, and go to Anchorage or Fairbanks or vice versa, or take classes from more than one university at a time, you can do that seamlessly. The highest accolade given to a university student in the world is the Rhodes Scholarship. And the University of Alaska is proud of its first ever Rhodes Scholar, designated last year, a UAA student named Samantha Mack. So that is another indication of tremendous quality that's available to you at the University of Alaska. A second reason is diversity. 3 universities, different universities, strong universities. UAS in Southeast Alaska, very, very beautiful. You look out one window and you see a glacier and a lake. Other window you see Hawk Bay and the ocean. Anchorage, in the middle of the state's biggest city, dynamic economy. Beautiful campus, stunning buildings right there in the heart of the UMed district, where the hospitals are, and thriving businesses, Alaska Native corporations, etc. are there. And then the Fairbanks Campus, focusing on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and research up in the interior. So 3 different universities, again with common processes and transfer of credits and that sort of thing. Also 13 community campuses across the state. I mentioned Ketchikan and Kodiak and Kotzebue, Valdez, Dillingham, Bethel, Nome. So all of those are different schools. They're part of our system, but they're different in terms of the cultures and the classes and the faculty that they all offer. So there's a tremendous amount of variety that is available to you. The third big focus is you. It's our student focus. You're the center of everything we do. So whether it's what happens in the classroom or labs or field research stations or studios or theaters, whether you choose to do undergraduate research, we have great opportunities for that. If you want to do foreign travel, we have exchange programs with universities here in the United States and all over the world where you pay our low tuition, take advantage of your scholarship here, but you can study in England or in Oregon or in many, many other places across the country and the world. Another opportunity you have that's part of the student focus is internships. Internships with companies, with native corporations, with tribal organizations, with NGOs, with the state legislature. These things are all available to you as well. I think another great reason that's part of the student focus is the network that you create while you're a student here of people who are going to be in Alaska for years to come, who you will know. They will be your friends. They'll be the governor. They'll be legislators. They'll be a CEO of a corporation. And it's through your time here that you will be able to create that network that will really in turn create your future here in Alaska. The fourth big reason, and going to bring you some math now, is affordability. The standard measure for college tuition affordability used all across the country is to take the tuition and divide it into average household income. And when we do that little arithmetic, Alaska comes in first in the country. So that's a measure of affordability. But now I'm going to make it a little more tangible for you, and I'm going to talk about what you give up if you choose to go to university outside of Alaska. Well, first up, the state of Alaska, the legislature, gives the university every year an amount of money. And if I divide that amount of money by the number of students we have, I come up with $12,000 per year. So again, it's the legislature appropriating money to the university, divided by the number of students, gets $12,000 a year. And assuming you go to school for 4 years, 4 times 12, $48,000. You give that up if you go to Berkeley. Tuition. Well, if you're going to Berkeley, you're going to have to pay them tuition. I'm just going to be conservative and say that's $30,000 a year. 30 times 4 is $120. Now we're up to $168,000 you're giving up by going to another school. Cost you are incurring by going outside to college. This scholarship, the Alaska Scholar, $12,000. So now we're up to $180. And because most of you folks are really, really smart, you also qualify for the Alaska Performance Scholarship. That's $20,000. When I add those numbers up, it's $200,000. $200,000 of investment that Alaska has chosen to make in you and in your college education here in Alaska, an investment you give up if you go to college outside. So at the end of the day, you're really smart, otherwise you wouldn't be listening to this, and it's your choice. You can choose to go outside, and you'll probably have a great adventure. But it's uncertain. But one thing that is certain, that if you come to the University of Alaska, you will have a tremendous education. It'll be of high quality. You'll have a diverse array of programs available to you. You'll meet students and experience a focus on your educational experience here at the university. And financially, it's really affordable. So you're smart. You've made a lot of smart choices already. I'm confident you'll make the smart choice to come to the University of Alaska. So good luck, and we'll be here waiting for you. Thank you.
Thank you, President Johnson. Next, I'd like to introduce representatives from the campuses of the University of Alaska Anchorage, Fairbanks, and Juneau, Katherine Pascua, Josh Hovis, and Brittany Weisner. They will each take a few minutes to highlight opportunities available at their campuses. Here to talk about UAA is Katherine Pascua, UA Scholar and Transition Advisor.
Congratulations, UA Scholars. My name is Katherine Pascua, and I am the Scholars at UAA Transition Advisor. So I primarily work with our UA scholars and those receiving the Alaska Performance Scholarship as well. I am a UAA alumni, and this year marks my 10th year working with UAA both as a student and a professional staff in our Student Affairs Division. And so my role as a transition advisor is to help you navigate the transition process going from high school to college as a scholar. So UAA is located in the south central of Alaska. UAA's main campus is located in Anchorage, and we are home of the sea wolves. For those of you who are wondering what is a sea wolf, it originated from an Alaska native myth, and it features a strong, generous, and humble mythical creature. So the Anchorage campus is the largest university in the state, set in Alaska's largest city, but with a small town feeling. And so we have a very diverse population. We have 13,000 plus students from all 50 states and 65 or more countries. And like I said, we do have a small town feeling in that our class size is also small with a faculty to student ratio of 1 to 14. UAA has over 100 plus degrees, from the certifications to doctoral degrees. Our most popular programs are the biological sciences, which these are career areas in wildlife management, for example, environmental law, biological research, those who are going into pre-med or pre-dental or in the vet field, but also the natural sciences. So those are the career areas, environmental science, pre-health professions, general sciences. We also have mechanical engineering that are popular, as well as 2 business programs, management and accounting. Then we have our psychology and nursing. As a UA scholar, we want you to take advantage of the many programs available to you. And one of those programs is the Honors College, in which one of their goals is to help students like you develop leadership and academic skills. As a UA scholar, you are automatically accepted into the program, and the Honors College serves all students across all majors. And they offer small seminar-style classes that those classes actually can satisfy some of your general education courses in the humanities and social sciences. And also part of the Honors College is the undergraduate research opportunities, which you have the opportunity to take part in under the guidance of a faculty mentor. So what that means is you can choose your own research topic and partner with faculty and community members to do that in the field that you're interested in. And so the Honors College is such a powerful resource that they also help students apply for scholarships, internships, and fellowships. In fact, they have assisted students apply to prestigious and competitive scholarships. I have some students here who have won such awards. So Anya, there's the first one, is like the current UA scholar, and she's also an Alaska Performance Scholarship. She's also in the Honors College program. At UAA, we have our student exchange program and our study abroad. She took the opportunity to go study abroad in Madrid this past spring semester and return back this fall to continue. But part of that is she used her UA Scholars and APS awards to help her while studying abroad. We have Samantha, who is the first student from the University of Alaska system to receive the U.S. Rhodes Scholarship. She's one of the 32 who received them. The scholarship is a postgraduate award for students to study at the University of Oxford in England. She is actually started that this October. And then we have 2 this year Fulbright scholarships, and both of them are also UA Scholars, Alaska Performance Scholar, and they have received Fulbright teaching assistance to teach English in Germany. At UAA, with assistance, we have a total of 15 UA Fulbright scholars. And then we have Michael there. He is our 2018 Truman Scholar, and he is our 14th Truman Scholar, in which he received $30,000 award toward graduate school for careers in government and public service. So those are some of the things that individuals have taken the opportunity to apply for and to continue their studies outside after they graduate at UAA. For UAA, we also have a on-campus living honors floor, and you live with students of similar academic commitment. So these honors floor is open to UA scholars and students enrolled in Honors College. It is comprised of both new and returning students. Part of that program that they do is they focus on academics, leadership, and community service as well. At UAA, we have 100 plus clubs, anywhere from academics, recreational, political, and nonprofit groups. And if you can't find a club of your interest, you can always create your own. and we are here to help you succeed. So UAA has support programs for a diverse population, such as first-year advising and academic coaches and academic advisors to help you with your academics and to make sure that you are on track on graduation. We have a multicultural center and Native student services and trio program student support services, which assist with the first generation and low-income students. So we have a wide variety of student services because we don't want you to do college alone. We are here to assist you. Again, scholars, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you on our campus.
Thank you, Catherine. Here to talk about UAF is Josh Hovis, admissions counselor.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to Nanick Nation, University of Alaska Fairbanks. So we have two different admissions counselors that you can contact here at UAF, Josh Hovis, which is myself, and Tara Knight. You can reach either of us at the email and the phone number on your screen there. Thanks for joining us. So some quick facts about UAF. We were founded in 1917, so we just celebrated our 100th year anniversary. So we've got about 5,600 students on our Fairbanks campus. There's another 3,000 students around Alaska, around the U.S., and around the world through our online eCampus program. The UAF main campus is about 2,000 acres. As you see there, we've got students from Alaska, Washington, California, Texas, about 50, 60 different international student homes, as well as we're the only Purple Heart campus in the state of Alaska. And what that means is we have a certain amount of resources, funding, and opportunities for active duty and military veterans on our campus. We offer about 160 different degree programs and certificates across UAF. You'll see that we're a world leader in climate change and Arctic research, known throughout the circumpolar north. We receive over $100 million in research funding annually, and this is unique given that we only have about 5,600 students. So what this translates is about a disproportionate amount of research funding for the amount of students that we have and what you're interested in studying and the funding that might be available for it. We're Alaska's only land, sea, and space grant institution, meaning that we have our own rocket range, do oceanic and fisheries research. We have our own global class research vessel designed to be an icebreaker. We have an experimental mine, experimental agriculture fields, experimental forest, 3 herds of animals that we keep on campus, and a lot more going on as well. So if you're interested in applying to UAF, there's a few different degrees that you might be considering. An associate or a certificate program, which are a 1 or a 2 year program, or a bachelor's degree program. So for the certificates and the associates, what you need is to be 18, have a diploma, or have a GED, and you can apply to those. The bachelor's degree programs are going to be a little bit different. What you'll need is to pass your core high school curriculum, have a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher, and have your ACT or SAT scores to submit to UAF. Then there's a second option that if you have below a 3.0, if you have between a 2.5 and a 2.99, you'll need an 18 on the ACT or a 9.55 on the SAT. Having either of those options will qualify you to apply to the bachelor's degree of your choice. So for degree programs and certificates, we have everything from accounting to UPIC, automotive technology to tribal management. Some of our most popular bachelor's degrees are, of course, undecided or general studies, biological sciences, business administration, engineering fields, and psychology. For those associate degrees, the 2 year degrees that we talked about, some of our most popular ones are in emergency services, so things like fire science, paramedics, law enforcement, things like the pre-nursing qualifications, applied business, early childhood education, and process technology. So we have a number of scholarships available through UAF that are reserved for UA scholars, one being the Cornerstone and the other being the Cornerstone Gold. You'll see there that if a student has a 3.6 GPA with those minimum test scores, so it's the ACT or SAT, you can qualify for a $2,500 scholarship to the Cornerstone. And if you have a 4.0 or higher, or 30 ACT or 1410 on the SAT, you can qualify for a 2 year scholarship at $2,500 each year. There's also other merit-based scholarships that you'll want to look at through our financial aid and scholarship, such as the Human Achievement. So this is open to first-time students that have a record of volunteer service to a community, a nonprofit organization, or a special interest group, and they're also committed to their high academic standards. The minimums for that are a 2.5 GPA and then 18 on the ACT or 950 on the SAT. So here we have some of the annual costs of attendance for UAF. So what you can see is the cost of tuition. It had enrolled about 30 credits. So that's going full-time, 15 credits in the fall and 15 credits in the spring with 100 or 200 level courses. You'll also see some estimates there for room and board. And these are based off of if you're going to have a double room, so you'll have a roommate in one of our first-year halls, and then also the 75 or the 105 meal plan. Those meal plans are going to ensure that you got breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day of the week. So the annual total, right under $17,000, about $16,950. Another large feature of studying at UAF is the undergraduate research and scholarly activity. So you'll see that about 41% of all UAF students do some kind of research outside the classroom while they're at UAF. URSA is just one of the departments that students can find funding at to do that kind of thing that you want to do outside the classroom, whether that's studying the levels of mercury in a sea lion's liver, studying weight loss in the elderly that have type 2 diabetes, studying birch sap, or whatever it is that is your academic passion. You can probably find a way to get mentorship and funding available at UAF. The honors program is for those students looking to continue their high academic excellence in the college. You can kind of think of it as an AP or an IB carry-on in the collegiate level. So the honors program is going to offer you graduation with academic honors at the end of your career, but also will offer you a number of benefits while you're in university. Students are able to participate in honors classes and honors sections of courses for things like English and communication, as well as transform a normal class into an honors class by adding additional academic challenges to themselves. You'll see seminar classes available where students can study things like food insecurity, but across an interdisciplinary spectrum, where you're meeting other honor students with different academic disciplines, maybe in engineering or conservation, while you all discuss the same subject. It's not required for students to live on campus, but if you choose to, we'd be happy to have you here. The room layout, you'll have a single or you'll have a double. Obviously, the single is for one, the double is for two, with the most bougie option being the double single. That's where one person has the whole double room all to themselves. You'll see that Residence Life plans communal activities all year long in the form of things like dances, movie nights, cooking nights, and all kinds of different events that'll go on through the residence halls and throughout campus. There are meal plans required so that we know if you're living on campus, you can feed yourself breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All the amenities will be included in the price for your room, so there's no additional charge for anything like laundry or internet, utilities, lighting, water, any of that. When you're seeing the price for the rooms, that's everything all included. UAF offers a number of meal plans available to resident students. What you'll see here is the Block 105 and the Block 75. Now, the block is what you can kind of consider that you'll use at dinner. Dinner is about 3.5 hours a day, and a student would swipe a block and you can come and go as you please and eat whatever's available in the dining hall. The munch money is what you'll use for breakfast and lunch or any place else on campus where you'll pay for it per transaction. The meal plans will roll over from the fall to the spring, so if you have a carryover of munch money, you can roll that over from the fall to the spring. The meal plans will expire at the end of the spring semester. Now, something to know is if you want to use your meal plan to shop off campus at somewhere like Fred Meyer, you can use the pick list that Dining Services has set up, and they'll go do your grocery shopping for you, bring your groceries back to campus, and have them available for pickup in the Wood Center Student Union. They make a number of accommodations for food allergies and dietary needs. You can order online through your phone through the Tapingo app. We also have a Wood Center food pantry on campus. The food pantry is something that students can use once a week with their student ID and get supplemental groceries to help carry them through the week at no cost to them. There's a number of NANIC traditions that we have on campus, so those activities that are outside the classroom that have been a student-led tradition and student-created. The first that you'll see there is Starvation Gulch, founded back in 1923. Starvation Gulch started as a traditional passage of the torch of knowledge from the senior class to the incoming class, and it has had a various morph and iterations through the years. You'll see if you look back through pictures or videos, sometimes the structures would be 60 or 70 feet tall. Other times they would build whole cabins or kind of like shanty towns and then light them on fire. What it's morphed into today is a competition between student groups and academic organizations on campus that build elaborate structures to celebrate the return of school. A lot of our athletics teams will also have a kickoff event that weekend to participate in campus activities and campus life. Winter Carnival, a celebration of all things cold and winter in Fairbanks. We do things like the Governor's Cup, which is the annual UAF-UAA hockey game. We'll also have things like ice climbing competitions, sled dog rides on campus for free, things like black light, dodgeball on ice, canoe battleship, and a number of other winter activities like the student organization sledding competition. Springfest rounds out the year right before finals as a celebration of the return of the color green and the closing of the academic year. You'll see some prominent events including mud volleyball, where students make a giant mud pit and play in a volleyball tournament. We have barbecues, a melon drop where we throw rotten fruit off the tallest building on campus, and Springfest service, where students spend an afternoon giving back to the Fairbanks community and UAF campus through various volunteering activities. NANIC Recreation on campus. They maintain the SRC, so our Student Rec Center, our Outdoor Adventures office, the pool, and the ice rink. You'll see that they offer intramurals, 6-week seasons, so there's 4 seasons in a year, everything from flag football, ultimate frisbee, canoe battleship, volleyball, basketball, soccer, and they're really responsive to what students are wanting to play and experience on their courts. Every student gets a season pass to ski land, so if you downhill ski or snowboard, you'll get a free season pass. There's 20 miles of trails in the back end of campus for snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, running, walking, leisurely hiking, or moose viewing. Outdoor Adventures plans half-day to week-long trips throughout Alaska, something as leisurely as berry picking to something like snowshoeing into Tullahvanna Hot Springs. They also have summer trips that they offer, everything from backpacking, canoeing, sea kayaking to rock climbing. Nanick Recreation maintains the outdoor rock and ice wall that we have on campus, as well as the sledding hill that we offer.
Thank you, Josh. And last but not least, here to talk about UAS is Brittany Weisner, admissions counselor and former UA scholar at the University of Alaska Southeast.
Hello, UA Scholars. My name's Brittany, and I'm an admissions counselor here at the University of Alaska Southeast. Congratulations on earning the UA Scholars Award. As a former UA scholar myself, I know exactly how hard you've had to work over the last few years to earn that, and I'm just so excited to congratulate you and encourage you to use your UA Scholars Award here at the University of Alaska Southeast. Just like you guys, I was a UA scholar 6 years ago from Palmer High, and was in the same boat as that a lot of you guys are probably in, and I was looking at out-of-state colleges pretty much exclusively, and I was not considering staying in-state at all. But when I started getting some of those financial aid packages back, I started to change my mindset a little bit and started to consider my in-state options. And that's when I discovered the University of Alaska Southeast. I had never been to UAS before. I had never even heard of it, and I had definitely never been to Juneau, and the only thing I really knew about Juneau was that it was our state capital and that there was a famous dog in some Juneau story. So I never had any experience here before, so my mom and I came down for a visit. I got to tour campus, I stayed in the dorm, and I sat in on a class, and that experience was so valuable to me because I was able to picture myself here, and after spending a couple days here, I actually shocked myself, and I think my mom, and I had made my decision. I was going to come to UAS in the fall. And that was totally not what I expected, but I am so happy with that decision. I loved UAS. I loved going here. I really loved the small class sizes. Our average class size is 10, and I loved that as an English major, I got to actually discuss the literature with the professor and my classmates. I loved that my professors knew my name. I loved that I knew my cohort and knew who I was studying with, and I loved that I was so connected to resources and support all throughout my time here as a student. One of my favorite aspects of UAS that I love to tell students is studying away. I went to Germany for a full year. One of my big goals for going to college was I wanted to study abroad. And so I came to UAS as a freshman. We got everything set up, and I left as a sophomore, and I spent my entire sophomore year in Germany. And that was such a great experience. I got to take some really cool English literature classes, and it actually developed into my thesis later on. I got to use my UA Scholar Award and my Alaska Performance Scholarship towards my UAS tuition to end up studying abroad. It was awesome. And I highly encourage you guys to look into study abroad options. Another favorite experience I had here at UAS was my senior thesis project in the English program, and that was my opportunity to research, write, and defend a thesis, which was a 60-page essay, and it was an amazing process, an amazing experience. I got to be mentored by one of my favorite professors and put together a panel of professors that had had me over the years and knew me and knew my work, and it was altogether just an awesome experience and really inspired me to even to go to grad school. So I can't encourage research enough in your program. So if you're a science major, if you're in the social sciences, if you're in the humanities like me, there are so many opportunities that present themselves on a small campus like UAS. Just knowing your professors and then knowing your interests, there's so many ways to get connected to internships and research, and you'll know what you like after some field-based coursework. So I highly encourage you to look into all those options. I just want to encourage you to make the most out of your UA Scholar Award. Let it take you to a totally new place like Juneau or even across the world. At UAS, you'll love the science building that's built right on the ocean in Auk Bay. You'll love our main campus that's built on Auk Lake and our beautiful mountain vista we have. You'll love the adventurous outdoor studies classes. So if you're into ice climbing, rock climbing, sea kayaking, mountaineering, all those crazy things, if you want to get into that, this is the perfect place for you. If you like small class sizes, if you like knowing your professor and you like knowing your classmates and being known by your professor, UAS is a perfect campus to consider, and I really hope you'll explore your options here. There's so much amazing support from faculty and staff, and don't forget that you can apply for free. I wish you all the best with your senior year, and I hope to see you next fall on campus.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you again for joining us, and congratulations. Hello, my name is Lael Oldmixon, and I'm the director of the UA Scholars Program. I'm here, along with my colleagues, to acknowledge and recognize this year's class of 2019 for outstanding academic achievement in high school, and to extend an invitation to use the award at any University of Alaska campus. This event was pre-recorded. However, if you have questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat or comment area of the webinar. We will do our best to address all questions at the end of the program. This event will also be shared on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/scholars. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to share a little history about the program. This year, we're celebrating the UA Scholars Program's second decade, 20 years of awarding Alaska's top talent. The UA Scholars Program was born in 1999 when the university leaders observed outmigration trends of academically talented students and their friends. To turn the tide, leaders designated a portion of funds from the Land Grant Trust Endowment to create this scholarship program. This year's class, which currently includes 946 seniors from nearly 175 communities, spanning from Yakutat to St. Paul Island and Barrow to Kodiak, have been awarded a combined total of $11,352,000 for use at any UA campus. This is a powerful demonstration of the university's commitment to you. You are the future of Alaska, and today we are joined by a present UA scholar, Anastasia Erickson, who will share her reasons for using the award. And in the next hour, you'll hear from university representatives Katherine Pascua, Josh Hovis, and Brittany Weisner, along with UA President Jim Johnson, about their reasons for investing in you and why we want you to picture yourself at the University of Alaska. Our first speaker is your fellow scholar, Anastasia Erickson.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anastasia Erickson, and I'm a sophomore here at UAS. I went to high school up in Anchorage, and by the time I was a senior, I had teetered between at least 5 different careers. I wanted to be a marine biologist, then a psychologist, then an occupational therapist, then a translator, then a museum curator. I had all sorts of interests and absolutely no clue what I wanted to with my life. Who does? And after my first week of college, I had another change of heart. Along with the stress of moving to Juneau, being away from my family, and learning how to adult, I was miserable in my classes, apart from one, English 211. We were reading amazing works, having in-depth discussions, and writing all about it. My heart has always been fully invested in literature, but I wasn't able to admit that to myself until the end of that first disastrous week. In high school, my teachers and family had always told me that there's nothing out there for English majors. Study something more practical like medicine or law. I was scared, nervous, and totally ashamed. Just a week into my first semester, I was already out of place and about to fail. Little did I know that deciding to study what I actually enjoy would make my college experience way more rewarding and enjoyable. I found that a lot of decisions in college seem to work out like that. You'll think you'll have it all figured out, then an opportunity will present itself, or you'll have a eureka moment and you'll just have to readjust. I never planned on going to school in-state. I worked hard in high school to graduate with a good GPA and SAT score. I signed up for almost every extracurricular I could think of in the hopes of landing some sweet scholarships. Unfortunately, the majority of the schools I applied to could only offer so much. And if you didn't get the memo, tuition is really expensive. Even with the scholarships these schools offered me, I didn't want to start my life drowning in debt. Meanwhile, the University of Alaska offered me amazing financial aid, and UAS specifically offered me the most scholarships out of any university I had applied to. The UA Scholars Award, the Alaska Performance Scholarship, the Chancellor's Award, the Alaska Leadership Initiative, and a couple other scholarships from local businesses. No student loans yet. Even though UAS was not the school I first planned to attend, it quickly became home. From the moment I stepped on campus, I knew that everything was going to be okay. I had made the right choice. It's just like they say, when one door closes, another door opens. Here at UAS, you'll find your professors are your number one supporters. They care about your academic achievements, your personal growth, and your place in the world. You'll get to know the students in your degree program, and you'll collaborate and learn together. You'll be adopted into a giant family that has your back, that will lift you up, and will push you to give 110%. You'll go from movie nights in your best friend's dorm to emergency pep talks in the bathroom before your biology exam. Tears of joy and sometimes disappointment. You'll live off 5 cups of coffee a day, and your idea of fun will be slipping in a 30-minute nap on the 3rd floor of the library between lectures. But don't let any of that scare you. You'll find your friends, and you'll be amazed to find how far you can push yourself to achieve your goals. And believe me, you'll come out on the other end stronger and smarter than ever before. The cliche really is true. Sometimes it's a little rough, but college has been the time of my life. So before I go, here are a few pointers to get you started. Don't ever